is Spencer Gossman, and today I'm going to be speaking of the problem, solutions, and the urging of homelessness. So homelessness is a problem that's common throughout any country and throughout all of time. Any and every city that you go to, you're going to find someone experiencing homelessness or sleeping in the rough around almost every corner that you go to. There hasn't been one singular clear-cut solution as to how to just solve the issue, although many local, state, and national governments have tried. But a lot of those quote-unquote solutions have turned out to just cause more problems, as Houston experienced, as they made almost every aspect of homelessness illegal. It actually just caused more issues for them. However, you have countries like Finland who have found a solution that has appeared to help them dramatically. But the most important thing is, how can we, you, us, as individuals in our day-to-day lives, help the problem of homelessness? So the problem is there's a high and rising number of homeless people, and according to the National Alliance to End Homelessness, a total of 552,830 people in the United States were experiencing homelessness on a single night in the year 2018. This number has been on a consistent decline since the economic crash of 2008, but the number is still alarming. The 10 states with the highest homeless rates account for about 55% of the entire homeless population. And New York, Hawaii, Oregon, California, and DC top this list. These states also appear to have the highest cost of living, and there's a direct correlation between the two. And solutions have appeared to cause more problems. Like I previously stated, Houston introduced laws and ordinances that don't directly criminalize living without a home, but they make almost every aspect of living a homeless life almost impossible and illegal. It was originally done and created to try to help move people off the street as they're experiencing overpopulation, overcrowding, which brings inherent safety issues that you want to attend to. But some of these laws just made life almost impossible for people, such as you can't block a sidewalk, stand in a roadway median, or block a building doorway, so no panhandling, and you can be arrested and fined up to $500 for that. You can't do any of these things, blocking walkways, under state law that already exists. However, if you are a nonprofit or any other sort of businessman, you're allowed to panhandle as much as you'd like. You're not allowed to sleep in tents, boxes, or any other makeshift shelter on public property. So basically, you have to live a public life. You can live on a cardboard slab, just one thing of cardboard, but if it covers your head, you're not allowed to live there. You can't trespass on private property under state law. That's a normal fine. However, if you set your cardboard slab, since you can't have a full tent, in a place where you didn't know was private property, you're fined up to $2,000 for that. You can't have heating devices. A lot of homeless people in Houston have gathered up different grills that they can use, but you're not allowed to use those anymore, and you can be arrested and fined up to $500. And people, just the daily population, cannot spontaneously feed more than 5 homeless people without a permit. And so you've essentially defeated the idea of compassion and the Good Samaritan combos by making that illegal. So what was projected to help the city of Houston and their inherent homeless population turned out to create more of a disaster in economics by lawsuits and enforcing these laws that write such a hard line on how to enforce them. And so, like I mentioned earlier, Finland is taking a different approach, and they've essentially reversed everything that Houston did. And they introduced the Housing First initiative. And so, like it says in the name, the idea is that you house people first. You don't make them go through any programs. There's no programs that you go through. You're not trying to go to shelters. The first thing you do is grant them a home. And then you appear to the addictions and the other issues that are often caused in line with homelessness. And they've implemented this by the national government buying up private property and then divvying it out. And so the arguments against it are that costs more money. And also the homeless people need to get over their problems and addictions before having a house. Those are the two main arguments against it. And yes, all this naturally costs money, admits Juha Kaikien, the chief and executive of Y Foundation, which is a social enterprise that provides housing to the Housing First initiative. And then he says, but there's ample evidence from many countries that shows it's always more cost effective to aim to end homelessness instead of simply trying to manage it. Investment in ending homelessness always pays back, to say nothing of the human and ethical reasons. The savings in terms of the services needed by one person can be up to 9,600 euros a year when compared to the cost that would result from that person being homeless. And in the words of one homeless person who benefited from the Housing First initiative, it says that homelessness also meant daily alcohol use. It was not so much about getting drunk, but a way to pass the time. So when I've had an apartment, I've spent several months without drinking. You can't get sober when you're homeless. No one can. So what can we do past our governments as we interact with our neighbors experiencing homelessness? Does it mean giving out money at every panhandler, breaking laws in Houston to give back to those in need? No, it doesn't have to look like that at all. A 2016 survey on Reddit asked users who were previously homeless to explain what was the most helpful thing when you were suffering with homelessness. And the responses had a common theme, the fact that the most helpful thing was being treated with respect and dignity. And this is seen by simply just talking, having small talk, as well as just smiling as you walk by a corner. The homeless are so often just forced to the fringes of society as being almost subhuman. So the most helpful thing that we can do often is just to treat them with the kindness and dignity that we expect to be treated with ourselves. And so, when it comes to panhandlers, there is a very hard line between helping someone out and perpetuating dependence upon money. And so, what I'm urging you to do, rather, is not feel like you have to give someone money, but rather, what are some tangible goods that are going to best benefit these people? Things like in-season clothing, or if you feel like giving money, do it in the form of a bus or a train pass. I work in a coffee shop downtown, and what I've seen to be the most helpful for people is that if they're given money to come inside of our shop and buy a coffee or buy some water, that also gives them the opportunity to use a free bathroom that has free running water and free soap for all of our customers. So we also have the availability to donate and volunteer in our communities with the programs and nonprofits that give aid to the homeless community. And so no, we don't all hold the power to end systematic homelessness by writing new ordinances or applying a new ideology in a system and how we approach homelessness. But each and every one of us has the power to change someone's minute, someone's week, someone's year, or just someone's life by simply treating them as a person of equal worth and value and looking out for their accessible and worthwhile